Nature provides the material, and from it, goldfish breeders create beautiful works of art. The secret of their craft lies in repeated, meticulous screening. But why is the city of Hangzhou so important in goldfish breeding in China? And what are the challenges facing the country's goldfish breeders today? For the answers, stay tuned for Goldfish Breeding, part of our unique handicraft series.
我们家从民国呢迁到北京以后，祖祖辈辈呢就落户在金鱼池。整个这片小区都是过去的这个养金鱼的池子。这里头出来的水呢，水质特别好。这个金鱼池这带饲养的金鱼呢，颜色和这个体型呢都是特别好的。过去啊，一看金鱼就马上就想到中山公园。1957年8月份，我呢就在这个中山公园的这个家属院里出生的，因为这个金鱼黑白天的都要经人去伺候它，所以啊，我们家就我爷爷和我爸他们就一直挨这个家属院里住。我爷爷呢和我爸呢就在这个金鱼场里饲养金鱼。
Shu Jianmin belongs to the 10th generation of the goldfish Shu family. 2 years ago, however, he lost all his goldfish in an accident. This set of goldfish stamps was issued in the 1960s. They depict the 12 most popular varieties of goldfish at the time. These days, though, many of these particular goldfish are not easy to find. In fact, these goldfish did not originally occur naturally. Goldfish do not follow the laws of natural evolution. They gain their beautiful colors and attractive bodies through a unique process of cultivation. Hangzhou Zoo, lying next to the famous West Lake in Hangzhou, houses more than 200 rare species of animals from various parts of China and the world. The park's emblem is a goldfish. The Goldfish Aquarium in the zoo's northeastern corner was built in early 1975. Today, it houses the largest variety of goldfish found anywhere in China. Goldfish are cold-blooded animals. They can live in water temperatures ranging from 0 to 39 degrees Celsius. Yet, they are very sensitive to temperature. After the long winter, when the water temperature finally stabilizes at around 20 degrees, their reproductive systems are activated. This is the busiest time of the year for the goldfish keepers. Behind the goldfish display hall is the breeding center, where visitors aren't allowed to enter. Here, the goldfish keepers engage in the painstaking work of breeding beautiful goldfish. Wu Guoping is 46 and has been working at the Goldfish Aquarium for nearly 30 years. Although he is also in charge of the giraffe keepers, he spends most of his time at the Goldfish Aquarium. Wu Guoping checks the dozen ponds behind the Goldfish Aquarium several times a day. He knows the age and gender of every single goldfish. This is the most crucial time of the year, when the varieties of goldfish that will be bred in the coming year will be determined. The breeding season is the obvious time to identify the goldfish's gender. Small white protrusions will appear on the gills and pectoral fins of the males. When these white protrusions become concentrated and more distinct, the male is ready to mate. Wu Guoping prepares nests for the goldfish. In nature, fish rarely nest, but the goldfish keepers build the nest so more eggs will hatch. Water weeds are placed in the goldfish ponds during the breeding season. Wu Guoping uses wild hornwort, which he gathers himself. Goldfish don't eat the algae, but they love the spawning sites. A female goldfish matures and first lays eggs when she is 1 year old. The reproductive ability of the fish is at its height from 2 to 4 years old and begins to decline at the age of 5. And so, the annual courting ritual begins in the ponds. The effect of their hormones restores the normally gentle, graceful goldfish's most primitive instincts. The mature male goldfish becomes restless, even brutal. They only have a brief period to impress a mate. For the goldfish keepers, this is their most worrying time. The goldfish's reproductive activities consume a lot of their energy, leaving them prone to sickness. The goldfish keepers must remain extra vigilant. Early one morning, the goldfish keepers find a group of goldfish infected with fish lice. They must be isolated immediately. The parasites are removed by hand, and then the fish are disinfected. Nature provides the material, and from it, goldfish breeders create beautiful works of art. The secret of their craft lies in repeated, meticulous screening. But why is the city of Hangzhou so important in goldfish breeding in China? And what are the challenges facing the country's goldfish breeders today? For the answers, stay tuned for Goldfish Breeding, part of our unique handicraft series. There's a lot for the goldfish keepers to worry about. The goldfish are at their most beautiful during the breeding season, but they're also at their most vulnerable. An error of judgment can kill the fry and younger fish. Secretions contaminate the water. During the breeding season, the water is replaced 3 or 4 times a week instead of just once, as happens at normal times. The higher temperature also accelerates the growth of the moss. It must be cleaned away each time the water is replaced. Like most freshwater fish, goldfish are fertilized externally. The eggs will die if they are not fertilized within 3 minutes. The fertilized eggs are translucent, and the embryos grow very fast in them. The milky white unfertilized eggs are in constant danger of being consumed by plankton. The eggs, having been discharged into the water, become sticky and attach themselves to the nests the goldfish keepers have prepared. Spawning time is usually from dawn to 10 o'clock in the morning. The goldfish keepers must get up very early to remove the nests with eggs on them and place them in the incubating pond. If the nests are not removed immediately, the female goldfish will continue spawning, which will affect the fertilized eggs. Also, the goldfish themselves may swallow the eggs and even the fry. After the spawning, the eggs are the responsibility of the goldfish keepers. In water, where the temperature is 20 degrees, the goldfish eggs need 3 to 4 days to hatch. These tiny fry look entirely different from their parents. In the first 2 to 3 days of its life, a fry relies on its mother's yolk sac for nutrition. The goldfish keepers do not dare disturb the water. If they did, the fry may sink to the bottom of the pond and die from infection. This strange new world is fraught with danger. After about 10 days, the goldfish keepers begin to feed the fry.
对吗？小鱼苗它吃鸡蛋黄吗？
这是出生多长时间的小鱼苗？
将近半个月嘛，15天了。
15天了，能看到吗？
能看见。
看到了，就这些是吧？
对，小的。
The 15-day-old fry look nothing like their beautiful parents. With their dark, slender bodies, they look more like crucian carp. The baby goldfish's bodies are a product of genetics. Hangzhou, the home of goldfish breeding in China, has the country's most varied collection of goldfish. Some of the local residents keep Crucian carp in ponds at their homes. The Crucian carp is the ancestor of the goldfish. Fuzhou, a city 700 kilometers south of Hangzhou, is another major producer of goldfish. Over 80% of the best goldfish China exports originate in Fuzhou. Like in Hangzhou, there's no longer a goldfish farm in Fuzhou's urban area. The last goldfish farm was moved from there in October 2010.
这条路我走了20多年了，从开始85年调到这边来，航空公司，就在这个渔场，6月3号到这个渔场。刚开始这条马路是沙子的马路，很窄很小的，现在就是已经拓展到这么大了，城市的变化非常非常大。6点钟从家里走，每天都是这样子，因为6点差不多10分15分钟就到渔场了，等于1年的365天了，都没有很少间断过。
Ye Jicheng was the last manager of the old goldfish farm.
站头在这里。对对对，没错，因为我认的这个榕树的还在的，榕树的方向，假槟榔了也是原来有的。
The site of the Xindian goldfish farm, where Ye Jicheng worked for 2 decades, is now a construction site. The goldfish raised here were once champions in international competitions. Occasionally, when he's missing his goldfish, Ye Jicheng travels 70 kilometers to a goldfish farm in Minqing County on the outskirts of Fuzhou. Nature provides the material, and from it, goldfish breeders create beautiful works of art. The secret of their craft lies in repeated, meticulous screening. But why is the city of Hangzhou so important in goldfish breeding in China? And what are the challenges facing the country's goldfish breeders today? For the answers, stay tuned for Goldfish Breeding, part of our unique handicraft series. Because Fuzhou lies to the south of Hangzhou, the goldfish breeding season is a fortnight earlier. The first selection of the healthiest fry is underway. This is a time-consuming process, but it ensures that the best fry can receive the best care. The fry are placed in a small bowl, and the goldfish keeper will scoop the best of them out with a spoon. Attentive breeding is important for obtaining quality goldfish. Most important is the repeated and strict screening.
你看这一只，它是尾巴是明显的脱尾的，我们讲它这是长尾，尾巴太脱太长，这个也是不行的。
This is a 30-day-old red-white dragon-eyed goldfish with butterfly tail. Using his experience, Ye Jicheng gives it a quick appraisal. Not all of the fry will grow into perfect goldfish. About 70% are eliminated at each screening. During the first screening, it's not possible to predict the color and shape of the eyes. Ye Jicheng makes his judgment by examining the fry's tail.
蝶尾，所谓的蝶尾，它就是像尾巴的形状，像蝴蝶。还有就是，要求是尾巴比较硬，比较有张力。
Over the next 2 years, the fry will go through 4 or 5 more such screenings.
它是红白的鱼，你要挑的话，挑多少遍都不为过。 红白这个地位好变成红白颜色，它分布红白颜色的分布还不一样的，比如说两边要对称，胸鳍、臀鳍、尾鳍啊、背鳍都是红的，就是12指红，那就是在红白蝶舞里面它算是比较算真品了。
In the second screening of the 30-day-old baby multicolored big-headed goldfish, the purpose is to determine what color they will become.
黄是花的鱼哈，我们在挑选的时候是把全黑的和那个全白的统统挑掉。
您说的全黑指的是这种青色的？
对对对，
下面是一点。
对对对，这个要全部挑掉。
5-colored orchid goldfish have become very popular on the goldfish market in recent years. Ye Chi Chung focuses on the curves of their bodies.
这只好，这只比刚刚那只好。
它这个弧度漂亮。
对对，像这样子的很少。
For a goldfish keeper, there's no greater happiness than to find an extraordinarily beautiful goldfish. Strict elimination is the best way to ensure the quality of the goldfish being bred. During April and May, the goldfish fry grow. A layer of a crimson ribbon-like substance appears on the water surface. It disappears in June after the fry have grown into adults. As long ago as the Southern Song Dynasty, 800 years ago, goldfish keepers realized the benefits of this substance for goldfish to feed on. It's formed of water fleas, a kind of tiny crustacean. Normally, they inhabit the bottom of ponds. But they come up to the water surface in the early morning when there's not enough oxygen in the water. The goldfish keepers have to be ready at 5 o'clock in the morning before the first streak of sunlight appears to catch the tiny creatures. It's an exhausting job. By 8 o'clock, Ye Chi Chung has only half filled his bucket. It's far from enough to feed all the goldfish fry. The farther away the process is from natural evolution, the more difficult it is to raise the goldfish. The hour from 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning is the most dangerous time for the goldfish. This is when they are most susceptible to hypoxia. The goldfish keepers must get up and go to the ponds to see if the goldfish are manifesting any abnormal behavior. In recent years, large numbers of tropical fish, Japanese koi carp, and other exotic fish have appeared on the Chinese market. This has made life hard for China's own breeders, as the goldfish market has shrunk. Professor Wang Chun-yuan from the Institute of Hereditary under the Chinese Academy of Sciences has studied the genetics of goldfish for many years. He argues that the fall in the number of large goldfish farms in China will lead to a disastrous degeneration of goldfish varieties.
这个地方的品种给另外一个地方的品种互换了，这样可避免近亲繁殖，近亲繁殖就容易退化。
Nature provides the material from which the goldfish keepers create works of art. But how long can these living works of art continue to exist? No one can answer this question. Even after Ye Chi Chung's farm moved to the remote county of Minqing, people still flock to admire his goldfish. Many of them are young people in their 20s and 30s. Sometimes Ye Qi Cheng gives his goldfish away. He thinks that every goldfish he gives to someone represents another chance for its variety to be preserved.
我们每一个人的生命都只是一个很短暂的瞬间。基于这个生命物种存在在这个世界上，默默无声的陪伴了我们1000多年了。很希望说，每一个喜欢鲸鱼的人都能够为它做些什么，不要使这个物种一年一年的比少下去。
The Chinese characters for fish and abundance are homophonic. Fish have a special place in Chinese hearts. But for the beautiful goldfish to survive in all their varieties will require continuing hard work from the dedicated breeders. A sculpture of an eagle embodies the spirit of the prairie living in the hearts of the Kazakh people. Made of bone, it is an example of an ancient handicraft that has been passed down for thousands of years. But how do these exquisite bone sculptures keep the heritage of their ancestors alive? Watch Bone Spirits of the Prairie, part of our unique handicraft series.